Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind. Historical events of December 28. A journey through time of 28 December 2024 Saturday. Today's that is 28 December highlight in history. 1659. The Marathas defeat the Adil Shahi forces in the Battle of Kolhapur. 1768. King Thaksin's coronation achieved through conquest as a king of Thailand and established Thonburi as a capital. 1795 Construction of Yonge Street, formerly recognized as the longest street in the world, begins to York, Upper Canada, present-day Toronto. 1832 John C. Calhoun becomes the first Vice President of the United States to resign. He resigned after being elected Senator from South Carolina. 1835 Osceola leads his Seminole warriors in Florida into the Second Seminole War against the United States Army. 1836 South Australia and Adelaide are founded. 1836 Spain recognizes the independence of Mexico with the signing of the Santa Maria Calatrava Treaty. 1846 Iowa is admitted as the 29th US state. 1879 Tay Bridge disaster. The central part of the Tay Rail Bridge in Dundee, Scotland, United Kingdom collapses as a train passes over it, killing 75. 1885 Indian National Congress, a political party of India, is founded in Bombay Presidency, British India. 1895 The Lumiere brothers perform for their first paying audience at the Grand Café in Boulevard des Capucines. 1895 Wilhelm Röntgen publishes a paper detailing his discovery of a new type of radiation which later will be known as X-rays. 1902 The Syracuse Athletic Club defeat the New York Philadelphians 5-0 in the first indoor professional football game which was held at Madison Square Garden. 1908 The 7.1 megawatt Messina earthquake shakes southern Italy with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 11 extreme, killing between about 80,000. 1912 The first municipally owned streetcars take to the streets in San Francisco. 1918 Constance Markievicz, while detained in Holloway prison, becomes the first woman to be elected Member of Parliament (MP) to the British House of Commons. 1941 World War II Operation Anthropoid, the plot to assassinate high-ranking Nazi officer Reinhard Heydrich commences. 1943 Soviet authorities launched Operation Ulusi, beginning the deportation of the Kalmyk nation to Siberia and Central Asia. 1943 World War II After 8 days of brutal house-to-house fighting, the Battle of Ortona concludes with the victory of the 1st Canadian Infantry Division over the German 1st Parachute Division and the capture of the Italian town of Ortona. 1944 Maurice Richard becomes the first player to score 8 points in one game of NHL ice hockey. 1948 The DC-3 airliner NC-1602 disappears 80 kilometers 50 miles south of Miami. 1956 Chin Peng, David Marshall and Tunku Abdul Rahman meet in Beling, Malaya to try and resolve the Malayan emergency situation. 1958 Greatest game ever played. The Baltimore Colts defeat the New York Giants in the first ever National Football League sudden death overtime game at the New York Yankee Stadium to win the NFL championship. 1967 American businesswoman Muriel Seward becomes the first woman to own a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. 1972 The last scheduled day for induction into the military by the Selective Service System. due to the fact that President Richard Nixon declared this day a national day of mourning due to former President Harry S. Truman's death. Approximately 300 men were not able to report due to most federal offices being closed. Since the draft was not resumed in 1973, they were never drafted. 1973, the United States Endangered Species Act signed into law by President Richard Nixon. 1978, United Airlines Flight 173 crashes in a residential neighborhood near Portland International Airport, killing 10 people. 1989, a magnitude 5.6 earthquake hits Newcastle, New South Wales, Australia, killing 13 people. 2006, War in Somalia. The militaries of Somalia's transitional federal government and Ethiopian troops capture Mogadishu unopposed. 2009, 43 people die in a suicide bombing in Karachi, Pakistan, where Shia Muslims are observing the day of Ashura. 2014, Indonesia Air Asia Flight 8501 crashes into the Karimata Strait en route from Surabaya to Singapore, killing all 162 people abroad. 2014, 9 people die and another 19 are reported missing when the MS Norman Atlantic catches fire in the Strait of Otranto in the Adriatic Sea in Italian waters. Thank you very much for your patience.